Omatase itashimashita. In this video of Tokyo Renovation Diaries, I will give you a house tour. Finally, the house is clean from stuff and it feels way more spacious. I'll share future plans of this house, what I'm about to do, why I'm about to do this, where I'm about to put new windows, termites. This is a video packed with information, so please stay tuned till the end and let me know in the comments what you want me to cover extra in future videos of Tokyo Renovation Diaries.
おはようございます。今日はアントンの Next House.
In this video, I've narrated everything from Japanese to English. Personally, I think this is a great format. Let me know what you think. よろしくお願いします。
広い。
広いです。広くなってるね。It feels way more spacious now, doesn't it? Most of the trash is gone, and I started digging out dirt for my crazy lowering the floor project. My plan here is to pour concrete under the entire house, but the concrete itself is going to take up space, so I need to remove a lot of the porous dirt under the house. And you probably wonder why? Because Japanese summers are very humid and hot, and we don't want any more termites after the renovation is done. At this point of the renovation, we have about 3.8 meters ceiling height. This is after I've filled a few tons of dirt into these Japanese garabukuro. So I've probably regained about 20-30 centimeters by taking away the dirt. But when the final product, the final floor is gonna be there, concrete, rebar, insulation, floor joists, floor heating, and then eventually a beautiful wooden floor. I'm happy if the ceiling height is 3 meters. On this wall, I want to put in a new big window. Japanese houses are pretty dark and it's gonna make the space feel way more spacious and bright. I love that. The pillar here is beautiful, but taking it away is gonna make the space feel more spacious as well. This is an old Japanese tea room window. Me and a friend of mine, we demolished this wall, or we were about to when we found this window. At this moment I want to keep it, but I'm not sure it's gonna fit with the final design. What do you think, guys? It's really beautiful and has history, but I'm not sure just yet. When I remove the pillar here, it's gonna look nice with a nice sofa or a TV on the wall. Like a living room here to the left. And then to the right here, we're gonna put the kitchen. And then to the left, we have the dining table. Can you imagine the final product? You wake up in the morning and you drink your morning coffee here before heading out for a Tokyo adventure. Right next to the dining space, we have where the staircase used to be. You can see it on the marks on the wall. And me and Dia-chan demolished this staircase a few weeks ago. It came with a few problems, because now we have almost 4 meters up to the second floor. And how do we get up there? The challenge with renovating an old Japanese house usually comes from the first floor. Create a base of the house. And I would say 80% of the job is made on the first floor. And while it looks like we have a long way to go, by removing the floor and the unwanted parts, it's easier to build it up again. Put in floor heating, put in insulation, and actually assess, what did I buy? What pillars needs to change? Is there a water leak somewhere? And I'm really happy I did it, because we found a lot of things that need structural renovation. I think I need to put a big beam up there in the ceiling, because I don't trust the structure of the house as is. I'm just a Swedish kid and I'm not a pro. And these are things I have to leave to the pros. I just don't know where to find them just yet. Japan is a country with a lot of earthquakes and natural disasters. And this house is old. You don't want to be cheap and not spend money on structural integrity of a house. I always check with my architect friends. Can you remove this beam? Can you remove this wall? What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? And just by spending more and more time in here, you learn a lot. You don't have to demolish the house in one day. And the longer time you spend in here, the more you kind of realize how you want the end product to be. Me, myself, I've never removed a pillar, a structural pillar. These are things I will leave to the pros. Here we have the pets of my new house, the termites.
なんか減ってきたんだよね。
黄色はあれです。うわー最悪じゃん。
This is trouble. Japanese termites, alive and thriving in my wooden house. I knew they'd been here before by looking at the pillars, but I didn't know they were alive and thriving. And after a few days of digging out the dirt, I saw this kind of road-looking weird mud pile coming from the ground. These are in Japanese called gido, and it's a road for the termites. And look up in the ceiling. They're there as well, and they've been eating all of that beam as well. This house was abandoned for over 10 years, but I think these termites have been here way longer than this. If you look at the pillars here, they added a left pillar because the right pillar has been eaten by termites. Because of this, I had to do research on termite treatments. And I called in a few different pest control companies. And many sleepless nights doing research regarding this. You have to get to the queen in order to kill the colony. I stayed up many sleepless nights thinking about this and doing a lot of research as well. But I'll dedicate a full video on specific in this upcoming video. Did you know you had termites when you bought them? You should definitely check for termites. But I wasn't really in a bargaining position. They offered to sell me the house cheap. No hustle, I wanted this house, I was about to gut it and renovate it anyway, so termites, big problem. But there's nothing you can't fix. It might cost me a few weeks of work and a few $1,000s extra, but maybe I saved a few $10,000 by just letting the seller know that I take full responsibility of this house. This is where I'll put the kitchen. I'll build a Scandinavian style kitchen, but I haven't really decided on the style yet. Maybe I'll go for a more stainless steel look, a more industrial feel. I know I want an IH stove though. I haven't decided on the staircase yet. Maybe I will start here from the left, turning up right. But without consulting to a pro, I don't know what beam or what pillar I can take away. I'll leave the toilet as is, and I'm thinking to put like a nice hinoki, Japanese cypress kind of board to walk on, with gravel on the side. Like a Japanese traditional ryokan. It will be a perfect mix in my Scandinavian Japanese house. Japanese toilets are world class, and of course, I'll have a bidet. I'll also have some bad news here in my 6 square meter garden. I plan to put a sauna there, right? But I think it's gonna cover a lot of beautiful sunlight that might seep in. Also, electricity bills will be incredibly expensive. But I still want kind of like a leisure area with a lot of greens, beautiful fence, and maybe a wooden deck surrounding the Japanese rotemburo, the wooden bathtub I'm planning to put in there. I think to keep the garden cool is gonna make the entire house look beautiful. Like an extra feature. I haven't really solved what kind of glass doors, what kind of sliding doors I'll have out to the garden there. These ones are the old ones you see there to the left. Single glazed, beautiful Japanese doors, but they don't hold the heat inside. And I don't know what to do with these old, beautiful Japanese doors. About 90% of the budget is gonna go to the first floor. Concrete, earthquake safety, a new kitchen, building a new staircase, floor heating. Just think about it. All the big constructional work is gonna take place on the first floor. And no matter how much of a Scandinavian house I make, this is still an old Japanese house with all the Scandinavian materials sourced from Japan. With the second floor kept as traditional as possible. Japanese tatamis, Japanese fusumas. Maybe we'll need some new paint and stuff. Just modernize it and fresh it up a little bit. Design-wise, I think Japan and Sweden has a lot of things in common. And they complement each other very well. I do believe that Sweden is better at recycling older materials. And I'm gonna try and do that as much as Hokuo means Scandinavia and house means house. So if you hear me saying this word, this is what it means. Sangenjaya house, Hokuo house. It's the same house. And what you just saw is the house tour of how Hokuo house, Sangenjaya house, looked after 2 months of renovation and cleaning. Up until now, it's been really messy and dirty work with cleaning out everything and demolishing all the walls. But once I've dug out the dirt, cleared out the termites, and exchanged all the beams, that has to change. After finding good contractors, of course. The fun part of building the house up again will start for real. And I'm really looking forward to this. Nice! In the next episode of Tokyo Renovation Diaries, we're digging out 5 tons of dirt in order to lower the floor. Because high ceiling is life. A lot of effort, but the sense of accomplishment, 5 stars. And it was also a great workout. I did one big mistake though, that cost me a few days of work. Tokyo Renovation Diaries, I'm Anthony in Japan. See you next time.